144. Is that what it is? So if you took podcast 12 and multiply it by podcast 12 again, get podcast 144.
Which was last week's episode? No, you're right. It's 144.
I think it's this week's one.
Yeah, no, you're right.
143. Yeah, exactly. This is the Pixel Response Mathcast. This is Nathan, and Paul is here as well, and we're going to talk about just salty, savory attitudes.
You are.
Yeah, I guess so. You're not in a salty mood this week, right? So I'm bringing the salt. Because I brought this big sack with me. And add the Foley of the big sack.
Like, I'm always a little bit angry all the time, but I won't say that, like, I'm any more so than usual, so...
Maybe it's the season, hey, let's get the disclaimers out of the way. It is really cold here, the sun is
Oh my god, actually, you know what?
Vitamin D.
Let's talk about salt.
All that stuff.
Let's talk about my salt then.
Because road salt.
You just reminded me of something that really bothered me, and this is just like a real life thing. This doesn't have anything to do with your fancy internet videos or your video games or your movies or music or any of that shit.
Okay.
Was going to the bus stop on the coldest day of the year so far.
Oh,
and 2 days ago, I think it was like with wind chill -35 or something stupid.
Okay.
And the bus...
That's Celsius for us American listeners, that's
right.
Do the math.
Right.
But yeah.
So,
it's cold. It's like Chicago cold. Maybe cold.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. The bus gets there, like the first bus I need to catch near my house gets there around 9:55. So I left at the appropriate time that I need to catch that specific time bus. And as I was walking down the street close to the bus stop at 9:53, I see my bus just barrel on by. And I was like, you son of a bitch, I'm right here. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And like... I couldn't move. I was just frozen, like, because it's like a 2-minute walk, which isn't much, but when the wind's hitting you at -35, it's like the worst. So
yeah,
he barrels on by, and I am stuck waiting for the next bus 20 minutes later, and I was freezing, and I was like the most fucking livid I've been in a long time. I was so angry, but at the same time, I was kind of frozen. Like, my muscles didn't want to move from, like, a standing still position, so I just had to, like, seethe in anger. I couldn't, like, punch anything, even.
Oh, man. Okay.
It was really bad. That was a bad day. And then you go into work, and then you just have, like, this shitty attitude right away because of this thing that happened, and you're late on top of it. Like, that was a bad day. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So what do you, like, outfit with when you head outside in weather like that? Because I used to have like this ridiculous like Eskimo, sorry, apologies to people of the north,
they know they're
crap,
Eskimos,
what do you call it now? So like a dead seal or
it's
something, right? I was wearing it, a parka, there you go, that's, no one's upset about that. I was wearing this big red yeah, it's just a term, it's just a word. So I used to have this big, garishly red parka, but I just felt like an idiot whenever I wore it, because it's just the brightest, loudest thing. But, in the right weather, you want it, but I don't know, I ended up shying away from it. Now I kind of just do 2 layers, one's kind of like a fleece, and then I just have this coat I bought from Vietnam that is kind of, probably couldn't handle -40 by itself, but with that underlayer, hopefully it's doing the thing. I guess the main thing is a hat. You need something on your head, and that's why I didn't go walking for a sandwich yesterday, because I did bring one with me to the mall. So, anyway, just sidetracking a little bit. But, okay, so boots, like wool socks, long johns, what are you doing?
I don't have boots, no. Like, I just don't have any. I would
What about
wear
the
them.
steel toes we wear at work?
I don't actually wear them in the winter, because when the steel toes freeze, it's like a fucking cooler. In your
man, okay, because I was thinking of substituting those for, because I just wear loafers year round, and it's dumb, especially now. But like, because it's like they're up to your ankles, they're like tennis wear, and it's like I have to go through snowdrift. I'll just hope somebody's already made it through, and there's footsteps.
The area I live in, I don't have that problem. It's pretty shoveled and stuff, so I'm not too worried about the boot thing. But yeah, Steel toes, when that steel in the steel toes is like cold, there's no, like, you actually just have to take your shoe off to warm your toes up, because they won't. Like, they just won't warm up. It's just it's like having like a cooling system in your feet, and it's the worst thing. So no.
So was this bus stop also just a bench, or was it like the little shelter with the glass?
It's not even a bench. It's just the pole with the bus sign on it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't even have like a cutout like of what's it called, like cement or anything. It doesn't have a pad. It's just like on the sidewalk near somebody's house.
So maximum wind is hitting there. And...
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's facing north-south, so I was getting that north wind just like hitting me the whole time.
Okay. I'm trying to remember like my bus misadventures. They'd usually be at school,
right?
And like you'd get in this weird kind of like, okay, it's late, so I want to go inside because it's late, but if I do, I could miss it because now who knows when it's going to show up. So you just kind of end up standing outside angrily for like X amount of time. And like in the worst case, it ended up being like over an hour. And it's just like the least joyous thing. But you don't want to like pile on and be like, thanks a lot, guy, or something when he shows up because he's already having a horrible day.
No, fuck that guy.
So, okay. I just don't want to like add anything else to like, and that's when the bus driver snapped, is when the people got on board and said, "What did your job, idiot?" And then you just went crazy. He just
was 2 to 3 minutes early. I was
this guy, yeah.
So like I left my house,
but you'll never see that driver.
Right. I left my house purposefully later than normal, so I wasn't standing around for 5 minutes waiting. I wanted to get there right around the time. Like, I don't mind waiting like 2-3 minutes, because that's reasonable. But when this guy's early and just drives past without even like stop, like a courtesy stop, and he sees I'm walking down the street, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, for stuff I wear, I wish I had long johns. That would be really, really good. That is the one thing I need, because otherwise I wear like a normal shirt. This was a work day, so we have polos we wear, and they're pretty warm alone. I wear a hoodie on top of that, and then I wear a like snowboarding jacket parka type thing, which also has like the padding, but more importantly is made of like water resistant material, so it's hard for wind to get through it. And then usually at my normal hat, I have my hood on over the hat and then a scarf. So
okay.
Yeah. So like it was my legs. The wind just like killed my legs.
Because you're just wearing the like black business pants or whatever. So
yeah, and I guess, the wind just goes right through them. So yeah.
But I don't know if I want long johns when I'm like then sitting there for 10 hours indoors.
That's also the thing. And then it's kind of weird going to the bathroom to take off your like second underwear essentially.
Yeah. I guess you could though. Like, hey, it's cold here. It's like Siberia cold sometimes, so
it's like hot cold.
Know that's going to happen. But
yeah,
all right.
Buses yeah, so like that was the thing that pissed me off the most. That is real life consequences and problems of living in Canada.
Okay. See, nothing I have is that like fundamental human like basic needs.
No,
anger.
I know.
Like,
I'm sure.
I was starving to death, and then this guy kicked me and knocked over my shelter or whatever. Like it's like no, it's more just kind of existential. Like this isn't as fun as it used to be, or whatever. Like it's that kind of stuff. Okay, but so it's not as fun.
We should preface this again that this is just like. This is going to be you just, like, bitching about something, and we're going to talk it through. And then we can, like, talk about other stuff as well.
Well, I'm still trying to figure... Yeah, like, some stuff kind of just led to this. So, okay. I was born in 1987.
Yeah. Let's start from the beginning.
And I started playing video games when I was, like, 4 or 5. Playing some Atari games, playing some Pooh-Yan, playing Ghostbusters, like, just having a great time.
Fucking Ghostbusters. Yeah, okay.
I guess I'll also add, most of this gaming was done, like, in the middle of nowhere, outside of Airdrie, which is already a small city, and this was, like, the rural, like, nowhere. Like, I'm alone in the middle of, like, a frigid wasteland with an Atari and a TV, basking in that glow and just having a great time by myself. like really by myself.
Well, I mean, you had a sister.
No, I know, but like, I mean, like, even that was like after I started playing games.
Okay.
So like when I'm starting, I'm 4 years old. No, you know, parents are around, but they're like, yeah, no, whatever, play. Like, we gotta make supper or something. Like, who knows? There's windows of time where we gotta make supper or something. We gotta do parent stuff. We gotta do that. We gotta drive back this insane commute from Calgary to here. We gotta, you know.
During the winter too. That's a terrible.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
I know what area you lived in. Like the roads were so bad.
We got some bonus snow days because of just. Of course. Yeah, we can't make it anywhere.
Yeah, we can't get it. We actually can't leave home.
At least the well water still works. Like, we'll be okay.
Sure.
So I love that though. Like every opportunity when that happened, it was like, this is the greatest. Like I'm just gonna play Super Nintendo all day. It's gonna be awesome. That was some years later. But anyway,
yeah.
So this is formative stuff. This is forming why I like video games the way I like them. And then 18 years go by from when I'm born to 2005,
and nothing has happened in that time.
Yeah, some stuff was going on, terrorists were attacking and all this kind of stuff, but in the world of gaming...
I mean, that's not where I was going, but...
2001 happened, some big buildings disappeared and all that, but the thing was... Sorry, American listeners, same with the Eskimos, I've offended them already, and now Americans, it's just going to get worse, so I'm aware that I misspoke, but...
Right, okay.
Not the point, okay? Let's focus.
Right, yeah, let's focus on the real problem.
Let's focus on me, okay? Let's focus on me and my video gaming habits, okay?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know what you guys are on about. So different generations of consoles and stuff happen. That's all fine. Actually, you know what? I'm probably at, like, peak excitement GameCube, PS2 era. Like, I'm just consuming a lot of content, buying too many games, like, playing bad stuff way too much, like, just in it.
This would have been around the time where you like were able to get access to money to buy games for yourself, right?
A little more so than
before.
When I'm just depending on this weird library of games my dad had for some reason. Like, he just had his own interests or something before I was born. I don't know. It was weird.
Okay.
But, okay. 2005 happens, and some weirdos somewhere are like, hey, we figured out video algorithms for the internet, okay? We can compress videos, put them up on this website. We're going to call this website YouTube. It's like a tube, like a TV.
Before that was real media.
Okay, but I'm talking about the big king that lasted, all right?
Okay, was that 2005, though? I feel that was a little bit later. Maybe it was, I don't know.
They were acquired by, like, Google in 2007, I think. So that's when things got big, and that's the year Time Magazine was given, like, hey, you're the man of the year and all that kind of stuff.
That was a good year for video games.
For actual video games coming out, 2007? Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, I don't know. Okay, I'm just trying to get to the point, get to this, like, place in time where some section of people started recording games that they were playing and putting them up on the internet. And other people
there's something awful
started watching them.
Specifically. Mm-hmm. I think that Something Awful forums were, like, kind of the
Ground Zero or, like,
I think
early on that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember, like, for where I was, I remember GameSpot had their own videos for a while. Like, they had their own video player.
That was quote-unquote game journalism stuff.
Sure, but I mean, users were able to upload stuff, so, like, people were making little kind of, I love this game, Abadox, but it's so terrible, and here's a little saga of me playing it or whatever.
Okay.
Like, there was, like, stuff about video games coming from just the public at large or whatever at that point.
Right.
That was probably 2006 or something, though, so, like, this was starting to happen.
Specifically video, though, right? Because we're not, like, we're discounting the, like, images people would post of, like, their speed run times or whatever, or talking on forums about games. You're speaking specifically
I'm speaking specifically, like, giant, like, video complete playthroughs of video games, I guess, is where the thing, like, because, like, Angry Video Game Nerd's doing his little kind of comedy things where he's talking about games.
Yeah,
and there's large sections of
I'm pretty sure he
them.
did that stuff before, like, LPs and stuff got big, for example.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know. It's just So I was going to like video game trailers and watching a lot of trailers. I was watching a lot of like, hey, I took this like techno song and put Max Payne footage on it, and I was like, oh, this is great. I love this. This is awesome.
The music videos.
I was down on that. But I don't know. Something about where we are now, we're like almost a decade and change of people just uploading everything.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Like, it's something about it is just change what's what now. Like, it's just like, oh, every game is accounted for and chronicled, and you playing it is like pointless now. Because but
why? It's all about your own like entertainment.
But the collective already knows, you know. Like you're not.
Who cares?
I do. I don't know. Like I've started getting really self-conscious about. Okay, I'm just gonna sit down and play Windwaker again, and then it's just like, well, but why? Like, who cares? Like nobody cares.
Well, if
like,
you
and
want
even
to
if
do
I uploaded it
why
now,
wouldn't you?
Well, somebody already did it. It's already done.
Yeah, but
it's over.
You can sit down and play Windwaker. That game exists. You can play it on your television and enjoy it.
Well, the enjoyment is where, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure out where my enjoyment came from. And maybe it's just an old game. But...
What, Wind Waker?
I was having a tough time yesterday. I was playing it. I was playing some Wind Waker HD.
Okay. You know how I feel about Wind Waker. I don't like that game, so...
Okay. What is it? Because like I've bumped into a couple things already. That
there's a few things. 3D Zelda stuff in general is kind of blah or whatever, but that's mainly it's the art style. I think is still shitty. Like it's nice looking, but I hate it. I hate the aesthetic.
Oh, I love it.
I can't stand it.
Okay.
I think Link looks stupid. The characters all look stupid. The monsters look cool.
I like how his eyes look.
I hate that. I hate it so fucking much.
Doing stuff. It's got so much personality, and oh man,
it has no personality at all. It's actually the worst game ever made.
Hundreds of
the
pounds
worst
of
game ever made. Actually, that's not true.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
The worst game.
It's got personality, but okay. The things it had, I have issue with though, is like, oh man, I just want to sail the open sea. I'm just gonna hop on my boat.
Oh really? I hate it. I hate that.
It's gonna be awesome.
Okay.
No, well, so does the Wind Waker developers, because they don't let you. They're just like, hey, what are you doing? You should go to this next objective. Like, we don't want to sail over here. What are you doing? Go back to the temple. It's like, I
see. You wanted to do more sailing, because I hate the little bit that they make you do.
Oh, okay. Why? Why do you hate boats?
Because it's fucking garbage. It's shitty. It's not a fun time.
Okay, I need you to articulate more, like, you don't like being in a boat with the sea open for your exploration?
There's nothing to do.
Good. There's islands to find and walk on, and there's stuff on them. Like, that's the opposite of nothing.
There's nothing. It's just nothing. Like, going to the islands is fine, but it's the same thing I don't like about when they,
like there's treasure.
Honestly, this is what I'm afraid of with Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Even just like being on Epona or like a pony walking around the land and stuff. Like, I just want to do the thing. I just want the narrative experience because I don't find just like exploring Hyrule
like adventuring
fun, really.
Okay. I guess it's just this is just back to you don't like open worlds, which is crazy because it's the best genre. It's obviously the peak of video games. So
I mean, everybody
we finally got there. So. Yeah, sorry, I got my snark voice on, but
yeah,
I don't know. I really like a good open world, so I guess if they build one, see that's the thing. I know this one's pretty good, so I want to hit the sea and go find it, but they don't let you do that. They're really strict about their order, which I guess I can tie this a little bit into. That's also kind of how they do it in Link to the Past, which I was also playing. They specifically have numbers that are like, go to this temple first, okay?
Oh,
like
right, yeah. They've
kind of taken away the mystery that was the first Zelda game, where it's just like, I don't know, I'm gonna go in here and see what I can do. Like they'll just tell you. They don't want to waste your time. They've also kind of gated it so you can't even get to them anyway.
No, that's what I thought you were referring to specifically. Is like you need this thing to like open the door.
But in case you're dumb, they also have a number on the map. Like, I guess just so you don't waste your time. Like, don't even go here yet, because you're going to need this, like, gauntlet to move this thing or whatever. You can't do it yet, so
or the, like, medallion that calls down lightning or something. Like, yeah.
Something. You'll need thing to unlock.
You'll need the
next
thing to do the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You need the things. Which is, that's game design. That's how they do it. But something about it, I just wanted to okay. I keep deferring back further and further, but I don't know how to bring this back to. So the reason I was playing Wind Waker was this movie. It just gets convoluted.
It's a movie. Okay.
There's a movie.
Yeah.
But now none of this has anything to do with the YouTube thing. So I don't know. What should we tackle first? Should we say hey, Game Grumps played Wind Waker HD, and them doing that made me go, oh, well, all right, why would I play it then?
Well,
it
sounded
really make sense.
It sounded like it's because you wanted to be in a boat, primarily.
I kind of wanted to be in a boat, that's true, and it let me be in a boat, but it didn't let me go everywhere.
Are there any other games that will actually just let you be in a boat for a while that are finished and on early access garbage?
Or aren't some sort of management thing or sub simulator or something?
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I don't know
some
if there
third person game where you just get to go on a ship.
I don't know if there are, to be honest.
Yeah.
Without a war
Phantom Hourglass
associated.
has a boat and you trace your track. It's kind of a sequel. So there's also that game, but Wind Waker looks way better. So there's that. I don't know, yeah. I can't really think of other places to get this boat fix.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird... You know what? Keep talking. I'm going to go to giantbomb.com and see if their wiki has anything.
Sailing ships and... Okay.
Games with boats, I guess?
So, I guess a couple other little points about Wind Waker since we're on there. I did turn it on hero mode at the outset.
Okay.
And I kind of like the idea of a more challenging version, but I feel like they've gone one too far in... things they take away from you.
Okay.
Enemies hit double hard, and they're also faster. There's just more challenge to the enemies. That's cool, but also there's no hearts anywhere at all. And it's just
that does seem a step far, maybe.
It also just makes a lot of the stuff in the dungeons completely pointless, because it's just all these pots are empty now. And all these skulls are just useless. There's just stuff that you would normally get hearts from, and it's still there, but there's no point to it now. Because that's really why it was there. So you enter a boss room, and there's up on this platform, there's a couple pots, and over, there's one positioned around each, part of this room, and it's these are useless now. Or there's rupees in them, which is useless to me. I don't need money right now, I need life. Right. So it's kind of, I don't know. I ended up turning it off once I got to a boss because it was just frustration, and that was kind of too bad. And then the game's so easy that it's kind of just, oh, well, okay, I don't know. I'm not sure how far I'm going to get through this attempt to play Wind Waker again, is kind of where I'm at.
How far did you get through your Link to the Past, just out of curiosity?
I'm in the Dark Worlds. Okay. I finished the first palace there.
Okay.
And I think I've arrived in the second one, but was kind of having some issues with okay, drain the water in this world and then switch worlds, and then you still can't do anything because you probably need a Zora scale or something, which you don't have because we didn't, say anything about that, which, hey, I'm saying don't want too much direction, but I don't know.
A hint would have been nice.
Maybe somebody, one of the... telepathic stones you touch or something's just hey man, you want to go over here,
right?
If you're wanting a little bit of guidance, but I don't know. Zelda's so completely documented, and that's part of
But it has been way before Grumps even did that stuff.
No, it's no one person's fault. It's just kind of as a collective entity, just social media, that kind of being okay to do. There's just, I don't know, how do you bring a new angle to that conversation about the Legend of Zelda?
Why do you need to? Why do you need to bring a new one, I guess?
So people say, wow, that was really insightful. I will tell others and bring this to the people and let them know, just kind of, or else just play a different game, play Order, because no one played that, and then you can tell people about that.
Play what, The Order?
Yeah, The Order 1886.
Did you finish it?
But then why would people listen to it? Because it's not a great game.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I don't know. It's just like...
Or, like, no?
No, I played a little bit further.
Okay.
There's some kind of... Like, there was one point where there was a gun battle going on where I wasn't sure if there was just infinite dudes or way too many dudes. And it was just way too many. Like, it was just like, yeah, this fight is just not fun at all.
Okay.
But I'll just keep killing these guys that are just pouring out of this house. And, okay, now they're all dead, and now I can continue. And, I don't know. Like, with headphones on, that game sounds alright. That game looks alright. But, I don't know.
Does it not sound good without headphones?
Well, it helped a bit just with the headphones.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's more has to do with my speaker setup than
okay.
the game.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess I've just been searching for that next like Dark Souls or something. Like
let's rewind here. Okay. Legend of Zelda is very, very well documented. Yeah. Why is this making you angry? Like, let's go back to that point.
Well...
Because you kind of said it's because you want to bring a new angle to it. But, like, what...
Why?
Maybe there isn't a new angle, so, like, you got to look at, the next thing to maybe bring an angle to. Or just not care about it, I guess.
See, that would probably be the best way, is to just not care that much about it, but it's just something that demands, like, a bunch of time, and then at the end of it, there's, like, no, like, nothing, there's nothing, like, don't bother.
I think every video game is that, though.
Yeah.
Like, even the games, like, everybody loves, it's kind of like, well, whatever, like, at the end, because... You know, it's a video game. Like, even movies have some, like, more resonant qualities to them if they're done very well.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Video games just seem less important in some weird way. Maybe it's because you have agency. Like, even in a complete, like, story-driven thing, like Telltales or The Walking Dead or something. It's like, well, me, like, having any say in this story makes it that much less important as the viewer or something. I don't know. It's weird, but...
And then the Let's Play way of doing it seems to be like, well, whatever you're playing, everything is a comedy, you know? Because you want to be entertaining. So you're kind of just yelling at it for your chuckles the whole time.
I mean, the popular ones, for sure. Yeah. I'm sure there's, like, lesser-known... Let's Players out there that are, like, super serious about it.
Like, here's the bone dry playthrough of, like, King's Field 4. And, hey, thanks.
I do like that you go back to that.
That's the one! That's the number one dry Let's Play that I know about.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of no commentary plays of games. And
yeah.
I don't know how I feel about those, because there's not even personality there anymore. It's literally just, here's the game for you to watch. I don't know. It's weird. Like, there's nothing new there, right? Like, the reason I bring this up is because I've been following, quite recently, actually, a channel on YouTube that's, like, Survival Horror Network or something. And I don't think they have any videos on there that have commentary. So it's basically just, like, I could watch somebody play Resident Evil 4 and pretend like I'm playing, I guess. Like, I don't know.
It's like, yeah, I sold my GameCube. I don't have that anymore, but I want to eat lunch and turn something on, so I'll just turn on this video game.
I guess I just don't understand the point of it, because it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just a personal thing, but, like, if I'm going to watch a video game, I might as well probably play it. Like, if I'm going to be watching it anyway.
That's kind of the thing I keep... Like, whenever I try to sit down for, like, a full playthrough, like, it was specifically the Giant Bomb stuff, it was always like, well, I'll just play this game. So,
right.
I don't know, you guys can stop making videos now, like you sold me. And it's like, no, they're going to keep playing it. Okay. And then I just kind of start playing Persona myself. Or, I already played Deadly Premonition a couple months ago. What the hell? And then just, okay, they're playing it. Chrono Trigger, they're playing it. Like, hey, I'm not going to play Shenmue, because I tried. And it's old. Like, you can't play that. Okay. I don't know. I couldn't find the lucky hit machine. I don't remember. I was looking for sailors. That's when I bailed out. But
what is it with you and sailing?
Well, hey man, this was the Shenmue story. I think Japan just likes sailing because they're right there on the ocean.
I guess that makes
really
sense.
Like that.
Being landlocked, I guess we just don't understand.
Yeah. So, okay, the thing with sailing this week was we watched Moana, the new Disney movie, which is all about sailing because it's about the people of Hawaii, and they live in the middle of the ocean, so they're always sailing.
They have to live.
They need to.
Right.
But that's the thing. So that's kind of part of the story is they're pretty content just staying on their island and fishing near the shore. But then their island, like the coconuts go bad and there's no fish anymore. So Moana needs to go out beyond the reef and find out what's going on and bring Maui to this one island where this ancient gem was stolen and all this stuff. It's a decent little quest, but it definitely reminded me of Windwaker. Because I was just like, video games, like ocean quests and stuff. Let's go do that, I guess.
This is specifically where that came from. Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I've had that game for a while just sitting around, like the HD version, but never had it.
Right?
Not the HD version. I played the GameCube one.
Right, okay.
Years ago. So, before YouTube. But now it's like, I don't know if it's tainted or what. So I'm just getting mixed up. Anyway, Moana's alright. Jermaine Clement's in it. He was a big snail, and
how was
like
The Rock?
Crab or whatever. No, a crab. The Rock's okay. He has a song, and I wasn't sure if he was singing or not, but he could have been.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was like, I don't really think of you as a guy that sings, so I don't know if this is you or not. But whatever. Alan Tudyk, I thought it was weird. He's in the credits, but he played Villager number 3 and a chicken named Hey Hey that makes chicken sounds, which just seemed like a weird use of his talent.
Okay, sure.
He's King Candy or, Turbotastic, but now he's kind of just didn't have to do much with this one. We were kind of joking that maybe he just has a Disney parking pass, so they just had him in the studio.
I mean, he probably just lives there, honestly.
He's there more often than not, so might as well get him in there to make some clucking sounds, and then we can use them for this comic relief chicken. That movie's all right. I don't know. It's colorful. There was nothing that bothered me about it, like Frozen, but maybe also people aren't rabid for it in the same way.
If people were rabid for this, would it bother you more?
Well, I mean, critics are way on board. Like, I think it has a higher percentage.
I'm talking more about, like, the marketing and the people, like Frozen.
Sure. Yeah, that might hurt a bit. Because again, it's like, this is another, like, it's okay. It's a decent movie. So if people were hitting the streets being like, oh my god, have you seen this movie? It's amazing. And it's like, okay, you guys gotta settle down because it's not that amazing. It's okay. It's like a 7 out of 10. I mean, come on. It's all right. No, dude,
7 out of 10 is good.
Yeah,
that's a good score.
And like, I guess it's another kind of atypical princess thing where she's kind of the not quite queen, but she's the chief of her people, and she just kind of helps herself a bunch of times. Like, oh, my foot's caught in this coral. I will grab a rock and smash it, and then swim. Oh, I'm trapped in a cave. I will use my, like, kind of acrobatic skills to get out of here. Like, there's not really damsel in distress type stuff. Like, she does a good job on her own. Like, she gets into some trouble, and Maui's there to help out, but it doesn't quite feel like they're going back to the conventional well as much as 30, 40 years ago when that was okay.
How's the music? Whatever. That's kind of what I'm most interested in.
There was like 1 or 2 songs that I thought were pretty cool. Like specifically, there's one where she sees like the history of her people as voyagers and has this kind of weird flashback to them sailing the seas. That song's really great. I think it's called "We Know the Way."
Okay,
it was compelling stuff, and I don't know. There's kind of just a goofy song that Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords has as this like weird crab dude with like it was almost like a Bowie song or prog rock or something. It was okay.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Sure.
I guess there's a sing-along version of this movie coming out soon. I don't know if that's something Disney does now. I don't know if this is the movie for it because it's not doing Frozen numbers really, but I guess if there's a reason for
it's kind of weird that they would just do a movie, like a sing-along version of a movie, and not just do like a movie that's all sing-alongs of their greatest hits that people want to sing along to.
Well, I'm assuming they still do that on like DVDs, but because there definitely was videotapes of just like, hey, here's a bunch of songs from various movies, and there's a little bouncing ball with the lyrics at the bottom, and watch that.
Those were fun. I liked those.
I like those too. I'm assuming they might still be doing those, but yeah, since like I know Frozen had one too where they re-released it with lyrics. I think they're
oh, I didn't
that
know
with
that.
This one.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it was because that did it. They just have a business unit set up to do stuff like that. I don't know. But it was okay. It was okay movie. But yeah, so that movie led to me playing this video game, and then playing that video game led to me going like, oh no, why does anyone play video games? What is commentary for? Copyright lawyers are secretly the heroes, and that didn't go over super well on the Discord, I guess. So, like, hey man, well, I don't know, you didn't seem into it. Like,
I mean, I answered.
Do you ever wish? Yeah, you said no. That's not the answer I want, Paul. I want you to say,
oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay.
We need Jack Thompson back. We need him to shut this shit down.
Oh my god, Jack Thompson. There's a name.
We need to empower that dude.
You know what's
we
weird?
Need to, like,
there's
get
a
him
generation
back
of
the bar
people
exam.
out there right now that just won't know who that dude
Don't
is.
know who I'm talking about. So, 11, 12 years ago, there was this lawyer, right? And
was
he
it
hated
that long
video
ago?
games.
You're probably right.
I mean, when did Bully come out? That was kind of the last time he reared his head.
Man.
That was 12 years ago. I think it was 2005 when that game came out. So
right around the time that you were really not happy, apparently. Right around the time.
No, yeah. I wasn't. It wasn't like an immediate like something has gone wrong. Like I feel a disturbance in the forest. What is this?
Yeah,
and it was YouTube. Like it was like something's wrong with the internet. What is it? And then like I went on there and went, oh, Smosh. The Mortal Kombat song. This is so funny.
Smosh, man.
And then a dozen years later, it was like, never mind. We all hate that now.
Well, but, like a dozen years later, it's like, oh, they're still doing that.
They have a movie. Like it's on Netflix.
I know.
Or it was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there. But yeah, early YouTube and
the Pokemon theme song. That was
Decade 1. That was them too. They did a bunch of those.
Yeah.
They did a bunch of those. Remember those guys? They have their own video game channel too.
I mean, okay. How much?
And then Fred.
Oh, fucking Fred. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Smosh movie is called Ghostmates, I guess?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There's Charlie the Unicorn.
Ghostmates, you can rent it. No, sorry, you can buy it on YouTube right now for $15 Canadian if you want to watch Ghostmates.
I don't want to do that.
I mean, I don't even know what the fuck this is, so yeah, I really don't want to do that. They have 22.5 million subscribers. I didn't know that they were actually continuing to be that big. I thought they were kind of a blast from the past, sort of like, yeah, they have, you know, like a million. Like, people remember them, but nobody cares. No, people care.
No, apparently. That's quite a few. I guess I've just been looking at those numbers with a little more curiosity of, like, I consider Game Grumps, like, pretty big deal. But,
okay,
man, 4 million, that sounds like a lot.
It's
but that's not that many. No. Yeah. Like, it's just seeing kind of some of the bigger things going on out there. It's just like, what? Why? What is going on? What happened? Why is Sweden so dang funny? But you're on board with the Sweden train anyway, so I don't want to.
Did you watch it?
I did not. I have not seen it yet.
Okay.
I saw it earlier.
Before you talk shit, you have to at least just watch that one part because it legitimately is one of the funniest things I've seen on YouTube in a while.
Okay. We're talking about Mr. Pie, Felix.
We're talking about Mr.
Captain
Pie.
52 million. Yeah.
52 million as of this recording. So if you're listening to this tomorrow, when I think this is going to release, he's probably at 60 million by now.
Is he really on that?
No.
Upward?
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
No.
But that's a million people for every card in a deck of cards. Just think about that.
All right.
Weird, right?
Listen, I'm going to quickly talk about Pewdiepie for a second and like
all right.
how I feel about him because I really, really like that. And I actually was thinking of a theory, and maybe you can help me out with this theory in a second. But
okay.
When he was like getting up there in views, he was obviously doing what worked, right? Like he noticed that people really liked seeing him get scared in Amnesia and play Happy Wheels and all that sort of shit. So he just like milked the hell out of it until like he couldn't anymore, basically. And then just like went on that train for a while. I kind of respect that he's so big now, he can just do whatever the fuck he wants and not matter. Like, he doesn't care about what he puts up anymore. And
okay.
It's just funny because he used to be a video game channel, and now he's just, like, doing dumb prank shit. Like, he's just a dumb YouTuber now. He's no longer, like, a video game guy. He's just a stupid YouTuber. And I respect the hell out of that. Whereas it's like, oh yeah, his content is like better, quotation marks, or like a question mark at the end of that.
Okay.
The video that I'm talking about is his most recent video. He has a bunch of clickbait titles for his stuff now. So this is, I've discovered the greatest thing online. There's a site called Fiverr where you can go on it. People put up like things that they'll do for like cheap. You can like give
for
them
like £5
for
Is
$5.
It like British site? Okay.
No, it's like $5. I think it's $5 US specifically.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like I've known a few people that have like done some freelance stuff on there where they're like, I'll draw your portrait, I'll do a quick sketch of you or something for $5 and like that sort of thing. Some people would do like, I'll edit your podcast or like make your podcast sound better for $5. That whole, like, it's just people doing whatever they have some skill in, maybe not professionally, for like a pittance, right? So this video is him going to that site and just seeing the dumbest things people are saying that they'll do, and then like basically doing that,
making it happen.
Yeah, and one of the things is really great because these two, like, I don't know if they're like Indian or like blackish dudes or whatever. They're like dudes of color, but they're not like black or like Indian or anything like that. Maybe like Sri Lankan, if we're going to be specific. I don't know. It's weird.
Okay.
They're like shirtless, and they're like, we'll write whatever you want. Or, like, we'll like do a video message of whatever you want for $5, and they'll like write it on their chest or hold up a sign or whatever. And so like he did that, and what he got them to do is just really, really funny. I'm not going to talk about it because it's one of the things that like you should just watch it, that part.
Okay.
It's about 11 minutes in, the like payoff, if you don't want to sit through.
What's the preceding 11 minutes? Like just him talking about whatever? Or
no, it's him on
affairs?
The site, just like finding a bunch of different people. He's like, quote unquote, commissioning or whatever this Fiverr site does, a bunch of different people, and seeing like who will go through with this stuff. And then like the last half of the video is kind of like him looking to see who actually did their part and stuff like that, and these guys delivered exactly what he wanted, and it's kind of horrifying and hilarious at the same time. The exact timestamp, if you just want the payoff, is 11 minutes and 1 second. I just looked it up from the link I posted earlier.
Okay.
So, yeah. There you go.
That is like the most recent video as of January 12th.
Yeah, I think it was uploaded January 11th or something. Okay. This was my theory was I think there's this weird this weird spot in YouTubers where if you have less than 1,000 people watching you at any time, you don't give a fuck what you post. And if you're too big to fail, like if you have more than like maybe 5 million now, like
you also don't give a fuck.
You also don't give a fuck what you post, but like in between, you're kind of like scrappy, right? Like you need to follow the trends and stuff. So this has led me to believe that I think the best YouTubers to watch are the ones with nothing to lose, with no people watching them, or the biggest ones that like just do whatever. The problem is the bigger ones don't do whatever because they want to keep making that money.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is go find the dude with like 2 subscribers and just see like the horrid shit he's putting out there, because I bet it's dope in some weird way.
Or just like, hey, that guy's doing cool ski jumps in Japan. I found that guy. That guy's great.
Well, YouTube started as just like a place for the dudes who like are CEOs or ran it to put like plane videos. Like they didn't ever intend it to be like this giant thing. They just wanted a place to put these like cool planes taking off and starting up videos, which I think is really, really cute and novel. And then people started like looking at it as a platform that they can upload their own videos, and then it became a blogging site, basically, like video logs, the vlogs.
Yeah.
And that's what people used it for a long time, and then the whole video game thing started, and yeah.
Like, I guess, do you ever feel like any kind of weird like peer pressure, internet, like you need to share more? You gotta, hey, why are you playing by yourself? That's selfish. You gotta let people in on this, you know?
No,
hit that share button, let them watch.
I did, maybe for a little bit, for sure. I kind of just share things I want to share with people now. Like, I was recently playing Amy, and I knew that game was bad, and I wanted a video archive of me playing it, and I also wanted to show other people how bad it was, because so many people have never even heard of that game. So I was like, this is the perfect game to, like, share with people. And I like sharing, like, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, like, the games I grew up with. Like, I just like showing that to people and just, like, talking about that stuff. New games, I won't. Like, when Resident Evil 7 comes out, I'm going to be playing it alone for, like, at least a week until I do anything online about it. So, yeah, I play a lot of stuff offline.
Oh, okay, so you're just going to enjoy it by yourself, see it, and then...
I'm not even going to be, like...
Stuff.
I won't even be, like, watching the, like, Resident Evil streamers and stuff that I watch regularly, because I know they're going to be playing a lot of it. Like, I'm going to do my thing first, and then I'm going to dive into all the online content for it.
Right. I guess yeah, okay. It was just kind of a thing that was creeping into my head a bit while I was playing, about just, like, man, I'm just kind of lost right now, and this would be so boring for somebody to watch. Like, I just don't know what to do. Like, I was starting to, like, really criticize how I was playing, or if I'm good at playing, when it was like, this is a single-player game, like, don't worry about it.
Which game? Windwaker, specifically?
Windwaker, yeah. Or even, like, when I was running into some trouble with some Link to the Past stuff, it's like, man, I suck. But, like, it shouldn't matter, because it's me playing with, like, nobody's here. But I was still just kind of like, did they, like, practice, or did they have a guide next to them, or what?
No, I totally know what you're talking about. It's the reason why there are certain games I won't play online. Like, I won't show video footage of me playing it. The Legend of Zelda games specifically are that.
Okay.
So, like, because I grew up with older Zelda games, and that's fine. Like, I wouldn't mind playing, like, Zelda 2, Adventures of Link, because that's the one I played the most, and, like, I'm okay with, like, doing stuff in it. But, like, I haven't played Link to the Past in, like, probably 10 years now. There's no fucking way in hell I'm going to stream that. Like, I'm not going to show people how inept I am at a game that they've probably seen, like, grandmasters play.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, well, I'm throwing bombs at this boss. I hope this is right. I don't know. Like, just feeling like an idiot. But
yeah,
you're just figuring it out as if for the first time. It's been a long time since I played it, too.
It's really bad for Nintendo games, too, because every kid grows up with Nintendo games, so they all just know, like, a 12-year-old going into your Twitch chat or whatever will probably be better at Mario than you, sort of thing, because they played it yesterday, and, like, I haven't played it in, like, maybe 2 weeks or something, like a Mario game in general. So it's just one of those things that, like, I kind of try not to play Nintendo games or, like, share content on it, because I don't want to be part of that. Like, I know where you're coming from with this, for sure.
Okay.
That specifically.
Okay.
It makes me kind of wonder why the Game Grumps have done, like, Zelda and stuff, because they're not exactly who I would call, like, the people you watch for good gameplay, but I guess it just doesn't matter. People just listen to them as they play games, right? Like, it's probably their personality that people come to.
Sure. And I guess with Ocarina specifically, there was that sequelitis episode, so I'll revisit this topic of yours and go through it and stuff. And I don't think Dan had ever seen it before, at least with some of the stuff he was saying. Like,
oh, okay, that makes way more sense then.
So it's like, hey, here, let me show you a classic from my childhood. Oh, okay, cool. And then you can kind of bring a person with you on that, which is like, oh, that's a great little dynamic there. That's, oh yeah, Sheikah Zelda, you didn't know that? That's crazy. Like, little things happen. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just, scrutinizing my own play. So what I did today was I played a game I'm very familiar with, which was Day of the Tentacle Remastered, and just blazed through that thing. So I could have shared that, but I don't know.
You should have.
It's an adventure game.
Why not?
I don't know. I was just having fun with, drinking some coffee, swishing it around my mouth, and getting my adventure gaming on, and getting
this
trophies
is the thing.
time.
This is kind of why I didn't understand why you were angry or whatever for, like, what we were talking about, because the experience you had earlier today is just something you can do at any time. Like, you can just play a game and just be like, oh, right, video games are kind of dope.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess it was just, it happens with Nintendo stuff sometimes, though, where, like, replaying them, kind of the magic won't work twice or something, but you think totally. It should, because it's no, it's like a big adventure, and there's all this stuff, but it's like, oh, but I just want to hit the open seas in this case, and they don't let you do that until later in the game, so you can't have that experience yet. You got to jump through all these hoops first. Or like when I was replaying Majora's Mask, it was just like, yeah, I really like some of this, but not all of it. And then just kind of, you got to go through this water temple, dude. And it's like, all right, I'm just gonna stop. I would literally swim through hoops to get a heart piece, and like there's just stuff in there that is not great. And I really
feel that's my problem with 3D Zeldas just in general across the board. Is there's parts I really like, and then a lot I really don't. Like, even in Windwaker, I think Windwaker has one of the best end fights, like, ever. I really like that fight.
But there's a whole lot of game before you get to that fight.
And I really like how it ends. I really like a lot of the bosses. Like, it's really just... I don't like the main characters, how they look. I don't like the sailing, the collecting the Triforce pieces, that sort of stuff. I really like a lot of other stuff, though, in there. The problem is that other stuff is real deep into the stuff I don't like.
Oh man, doing it, so. That game starts on a crappy foot too. It's like, hey, check it out, stealth dungeon. Like, it's the first thing you do is sneaking around in barrels without a sword, and it's just like, this is the worst part of this game, and they just start you off there. Like,
I actually forgot about that, but you're right. I remember playing that for the first time and just being like, oh, I hate this.
Yeah.
But, like, it doesn't last very long, so whatever, but... Man, yeah, you just reminded me of another thing I really don't like.
There's some bumps in there I forgot about. Like, I guess they've smoothed over some of the stuff. I don't think getting all the Triforce pieces is as hard, or there's better quick travel or something. I've heard they've addressed some stuff in this version, but
good.
I don't know. It just wasn't the joyous, rapturous thing. Because I remember like booting it up in 2003 or whenever it came out, and just being like so excited. I was just like, wow, this is like a cartoon and it's moving. This is amazing. Like, I was just sitting there jumping around on the original island for like an hour just looking at it. Like, oh, look at this pig. This is crazy. I can go into first person and look at it. Like, just being so excited. And then it's just, no, like, you can't have that rush again after 13 years of other games and things. It's just not, it's not going to be the same. And
Do you remember the ropes? Swinging
on ropes. They're swinging on ropes. Oh yeah, the ship, you gotta get across those platforms.
That bothered me too.
I fell 3 times and felt pretty dumb. So again, I was kind of like, man, this would be a terrible episode of like Game Dudes or whatever. This would be real bad.
This is kind of you're right. That game doesn't introduce itself very well. I don't think. Like, mechanically, it's just not very fun for a bit. It has good parts in it. With that game,
I like the camera. That's just a cool idea.
That's one of the few games that nobody thinks is bad, which is also why I pushed so hard against it.
Oh yeah, it's right up there amongst the most favored Zelda games.
I think it is. So just straight up the most favored because
because Ocarina's gotten tarnished a bit, so maybe this is the new this one's the one though. This is the one.
We have the thing, right? The trope the saying where you type in Google whatever sucks and you'll find at least one other person. I don't think I found that other person for that game.
For Wind Waker?
Yeah, okay. I don't think so. It's so that's another reason why I push so hard back against it because I don't love it. In fact, I will say I don't actually like it. I like parts of it, but as a game, I don't like it, and I actually hate it more and more when people just love it like they did. They don't anymore because it's old now. But there was a
bit of a resurgence 3 years ago when that HD version came out.
There was a resurgence, but there was nothing like when that game came out. When that game was big, it was frustrating. But I don't know. I still have to play not Twilight Princess, the other one, the Skyward Sword.
I really don't have negative feelings towards that game. I watched that Sequelitis Ego Raptor video again, and he hates that game. But
I know he does.
And I sort of get it, but I just found the novelty of the controls, really impressive. It's oh man, Like, I've been shooting bows at dudes in Zelda games for a long time. This just feels different, though. That's really cool. Like, it was just fundamentally more tactile or something. I really got impressed with that game. And I don't know, it's got kind of like a vibrant, colorful thing. It's got skydiving. Some of the temples are kind of cool. I don't know. I didn't have that time. Yeah. But I don't know. Zelda. Like, it's a dumb time to be, like, going back to Zelda because there's going to be a new one soon. But I just got the fever.
About the new one.
I got the fever this month or whatever, so it's like I gotta play Zelda. I gotta play some Zelda. So yeah, maybe Breath of the Wild. You're worried it's gonna be just sprawling and like a lot of boring stuff in between because it's definitely more open world. So
the thing is that even if it's boring stuff, at least it's stuff. Like I'm hoping there's at least like a reason why it's open world.
Like there's hunts to do or something or.
Because fuck, man, if it's just like you get attacked by moblins every now and then when you're traveling from point A to point B where the like actual stuff is to do, I'm probably going to hate it. Like if there's nothing to do in between or like make me feel like there's a reason why I should be like going around and not just like collecting Triforce pieces or something.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
How do you feel about like Elder Scrolls stuff or like Far Cry?
I kind of... The thing is that Far Cry, I always liked the shooting, and like, I liked the like animals attacking you randomly and stuff.
Yeah.
But I hated just traveling around in them. Those games.
Okay.
I hated traveling in all the Elder Scrolls games. I would fast travel as soon as I could.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've spent a lot of time hiking in Skyrim, but the stuff they try to do is kind of like sprinkle the environment with stuff to collect, whether or not it's like important stuff. It's like, oh, dude, you got to get these alchemy ingredients or like plants or there's different types of leather you can get from animals or whatever. Like there's kind of just junk to find on your way to stuff. I'm kind of
okay with that stuff, honestly. Okay. But like
I'm just wondering
with a little more substance would be.
Breath of the Wild's gonna sprinkle the environment and stuff like that, or if
I'm kind of wondering too. Yeah.
If it's gonna be smaller and more condensed than they're really proud of like how sprawling it apparently is. So yeah, it might. Who knows what?
That's what I'm scared about is how proud of how sprawling it is.
Yeah.
Like if they were just like it's an open world, then I'd be like, okay, interesting. But it's huge. Oh. Okay. Well,
we are on like
trust
the
you,
verge,
Nintendo.
Like the eve of the big Switch announcement stuff, so they might elaborate on that game pretty shortly. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Zelda.
It's gonna. The thing I'm also worried about is the leaks late last year of kind of like what the Switch is running with hardware wise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they could fit in like a bunch of really fun, interesting stuff in a giant world on like that type of hardware. But maybe. Nintendo can do weird voodoo with their own consoles, so...
Right. And I mean, if Skyrim's on that thing, that's a big world.
But is
and
it?
They showed it in that video. I don't know if it is.
They showed it in that video, but...
I don't know if it actually is or not, but they seem to be implying
confirmed.
They can at least have games like that on there, so...
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, one little thing, just kind of with the Zelda stuff. Like, this is my first time playing Link to the Past on a Super Nintendo. Like, when I played it before, it was the GBA port.
Oh, weird.
So,
okay.
I'm kind of digging that, just kind of like, this is the original thing. Like, this is the thing, and I have it.
I never played the version you've played, the GBA port.
One. I think it's just all accounted for in there. I don't know if there's any significant adjustments. It also included like 4 swords as a separate thing or whatever. But yeah, but something about just like hitting power on the Super Nintendo, screen comes up, you hit start, and you're playing. Like it's just like got something. Whereas like PlayStation, I guess I could have it set up so it just auto boots the disc that's in there. Oh my god!
But it's just kind of like raging about this.
Like the laggy time between I want to play a video game and you getting to play the video game.
Did you play Final Fantasy 15?
No, not yet.
Okay, let me set the scene for you, right? I get home with this new console, And lucky me, it was bundled because of like a weird Christmas deal. Not only did I get Uncharted with it because it comes in the box, but this, I think it's Best Buy. Best Buy was also including Final Fantasy 15 for free if I bought this bundle right now. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm doing that. I come home with it. I excitedly hook everything up. I'm like, all right, time to play some Final Fantasy 15. Put the disc in the drive. It has a patch that's like 15 gigs. So I'm like, okay, this will probably take like an hour or so. Takes about an hour. Then I open the game. There's another patch that patches in the main menu of the fucking game.
Is there no skipping that? Or
I let it run while I went to go see Rogue One.
Oh, okay.
So
it's like, well, I guess I'll go watch a movie and then come back.
I hate this generation. I hate consoles now. I want to plug in a thing and I want it to start. That's what I want that's the one thing I want from a console. The one thing is I can plug in media and it'll work instantly.
Yeah. But so wait, did you get a disc or?
Yeah.
Okay, you got. Even with that though, like there's often a giant install process first.
That's what it was. Yeah, there was an install, a patch, and then another patch.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's been the thing. That's welcome to the PlayStation future. Like,
the game was out for 2 weeks. How could there be that much to download?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might have gotten worse trend on Giant Bomb's thing last year of just like specifically because I guess data caps have come to the United States now.
Oh yeah, we've had that for years now.
We've had it for years, so that's always been like, oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to download all that. Like that's gonna push you over for this month or whatever. It's almost the 20th or whatever the date is for you. But yeah, hearing that kind of become a concern it's like, oh, okay, things are balancing out. It's not just infinite data from Comcast forever. So,
right.
Yeah. What was it? I think it was with Let It Die. You had to like re-download the whole game.
Yeah.
Which I did.
Yep.
But it's sucks. Like another 40 gigs. I want to like that game though, so I'm trying real hard. And like a friend of mine is really digging it, so I'm kind of like inclined to investigate further because I kind of trust his judgment on some stuff, but he's also saying it gets grindy.
Oh, he is playing it. Okay, well,
yeah, he's playing it legit. So,
you're
grindy. Saying is he playing it? Yeah, like is he paying for it, or what do you mean?
No. What I was getting at is he watching you play it because his opinion doesn't count if he's not controlling the shitty controls, but he is, so it's fine.
Oh no, he's actually doing the stuff.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
Something then about it he is clicking with him, which is cool, but I've just died too many times and then had to like redo the same areas, and I don't know. It's the thing I like about Dark Souls.
Well, okay, this is a thing that I just want to get out before you get into your thing that'll probably take forever.
I don't have much to say about it. Yeah.
Let It Die has all the worst parts about Dark Souls without any of the good stuff, like the controls is the problem I have with it.
Yeah. The thing I like is that kind of environment that folds into itself, and this dingy train station looking thing just is not that at all. Like, It's just like, no, you just gotta go through the same corridors, and it's like, okay, like mushrooms are funny, and there's rats and punching dudes, but
it has character. It has character.
It's got something going on, but I've been kind of shying away from it a bit. It's not a joyous thing to jump in on it either. I don't know. I'm just looking for that next like thing I'm super like just clicking with and just loving completely. And hey, Day of the Tentacle was that, but it's like 2 hours or whatever if you know all the puzzles. So it's kind of. Can I maybe fold that into some other adventure games, like play some other stuff, or wait for Thimbleweed is coming out pretty soon? Hopefully that's fun. In the same way, Ron Gilbert, it's something I'm looking at. But anyway, let me just see what I got on here. Okay. The only thing I have left on here, I don't even know if this is like a topic for this exactly, but. So commentary, kind of talking about commentary culture, YouTube, everybody's talking about stuff, talking over stuff. The thing highlight...
Does this count podcasts and, like, audio stuff, specifically?
What's that? Audio commentations?
Yeah, does this count podcasts, like radio, live broadcast, that sort of thing?
No, I guess I mean like
okay.
Another piece of media is playing and you're there saying stuff over that other creative work. You know?
Okay.
Like that's kind of what I'm saying. So the thing I kind of highlight is like this is where this all started. This is Ground Zero, Patient Zero is Mystery Science Theater 3000. They did this to us.
Yes. No, you're right. Probably the ones that popularized it, at least.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we're going to take these bad movies, and then we'll make fun of them, and then people will laugh at us laughing at them, and then we'll make money. And, yeah, we did it.
Well, I mean, the idea is basically just, like, we're going to make a digital experience of, like, you hanging out with us, right?
Sure.
Is essentially it.
And commentary, I guess it's, hey, this is all ultimately Laserdisc's fault, maybe? Because, like, commentary tracks came on there, and then they would have seen those and then made a show around it? I don't know. Do you like that stuff? That's all I'm getting at, is, like, were you MST 3K guy, or not?
I've always liked the idea, but them specifically, I haven't watched a lot of.
Okay. I've seen, like,
I don't like... It's very hard for me to care about somebody talking over a movie. Like, I kind of just want to see the movie if I want to see it.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'll revisit it with commentary if I really need to know more. But, like...
I like legitimate audio commentaries of, like, the people who made it are telling you stuff about it. Like, it's like, oh, I've seen this movie, like, 6 times because I like it. I'll hear Martin Scorsese tell me what's going on and have a good time.
I won't watch a commentary track for a movie I don't like either.
Sure, so. Or a movie I haven't seen is the key thing.
Right. No, that's kind of what I'm getting at, yeah.
You weren't ever supposed to have seen this Gamera movie, apparently, because these guys are just going to talk over it. And it's like, sure. I kind of like Gamera, so fuck you guys. But
okay.
All right.
What's the payoff to this question of do I like that stuff? Like, where are we going?
I don't know. Just
are you mad about commentary?
I'm mad about commentaries, man. Monetized commentaries, yo. It's crazy.
Okay.
How did this happen?
Okay, wait.
I don't know. It's the last thing on my list. So
commentary.
Yeah.
So doing it for free is okay?
Oh. So if you do it for free. But I mean, if you have a TV contract.
No. I mean, okay, there's two people. There's somebody who is selling their commentary track over this thing for, $5 a pop or whatever they charge.
Right.
On the other side is a dude that's just doing it and uploading it to YouTube because he just thought it was fun.
Okay.
So you hate
I don't know if I want either.
More? Okay.
I don't know. Like, it's more just like, if you made the thing, you get to talk about the thing. If you didn't make the thing, go make a thing. Maybe is where I'm getting at. Like,
so then where does people that criticize video games and movies come into this? Because they usually don't do anything worth talking about.
Yeah, right.
Like, really?
No, I don't know. I get real sour about criticism every so often.
Okay.
Like movies, like whatever medium it is, it kind of just seems like you tricked everybody because you're just sitting here saying this is terrible, but meanwhile you didn't do anything. You're just Roger Ebert. You know, you're just sitting there in Chicago getting money.
Roger Ebert at least got himself to a point, like, his work was making him the movie reviewer, at least.
Yeah. I know.
But, like, when you're talking about Joe Schmo in, like, the Tribunal paper that nobody reads or whatever,
sure,
like,
Kansas
what
City
has
Star
that fucker done?
Right. I don't know. Right, like, it's just a newspaper gig. Like, and there's so many of them that it kind of just becomes it doesn't matter, or it becomes just go to Metacritic or go to Rotten Tomatoes and see the aggregate score, and then no one person matters anymore. But I don't know. It's just one of those weird little niggling things that came to mind again today.
Is it the criticism part? Like, what if the person isn't criticizing the movie, but they're using their platform to say, like, this movie is actually really good for these reasons. I had a great time, sort of thing. Like, is it just the fact that it's a negative thing?
Maybe it's the fact that it seems like inherently negative to me. Like, to be like,
okay,
well, we're choosing this movie because we already consider it shit, and now we're just going to make fun of it. And it's like, well, that's a low-hanging fruit kind of thing. Like, all right. But without any kind of, like, we're going to suss out why this movie is, like, actually bad in terms of, like, yeah, it didn't have, here's the financial situation it was made in, or it's a clear ripoff of this other movie or anything. We're just, like, looking at the screen and saying that guy's stupid looking or whatever. Like, it just seems really base.
Yeah.
And I never loved it. And then when I found out they weren't even exactly improvising, they were kind of writing commentaries and going through it several times and polishing it up, it's just like, oh, this doesn't even have like the improvisational spark that I like from commentaries, so I don't get how this happened. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like, yeah. Sorry. Anyway, I'll just cross it off the list. We don't need to talk about it. That's all I got.
This is the thing, is that I don't necessarily disagree with you specifically about Mystery Science Theater.
Okay.
And if I'm going to be completely blunt, I don't know why they've gotten as much love as they have, ever.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, they did a thing, people like it, whatever. I don't really think about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. See, that's like this weird problem I keep running into with myself.
No,
I'm just like,
I know that, and I understand.
If I like a thing, I like it, but if I don't like a thing and someone else likes the thing, I get like mad about it. And it's really childish, but it keeps happening anyway, so I don't know what to do other than just say it out loud and just be like, hey, check your enthusiasm around me, man, because I don't know, like, you might want to.
But, like, since when did the world revolve around your feelings, right?
Because narcissism? I don't know.
Right, okay. I mean...
So it doesn't literally, but man, if it did, it would be so
But it should.
It fucking should, man. Yeah, that'd be so good.
You know what's weird about MST3K? Sorry to bring this back up.
No,
they
had
fine. Like a rotating cast. I always found weird.
A bit, yeah. They've switched.
I don't know why.
And such,
because it's just like, if this was like a thing with just like friends, then it just makes more sense to me than like, a production for like what it is. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry I brought it back up.
No, I don't know. I don't fundamentally hate some of the idea. Like, I've heard when they were doing riff track stuff, they teamed up with Weird Al and talked about Jurassic Park. And that's a thing where I'm like, oh, I might want to hear that. But it's just, I don't know. It's still just, something about the nature of the content just seems weird. Like, it's derivative, or it's kind of just...
Isn't everything
anyone
derivative?
Can do it? Yeah. Well, people say that. And
well, I mean,
I don't know if
I'm
it's
not
true
saying
or
it.
not.
I'm asking you.
Is everything derivative?
I'm asking if you can think of like any examples of stuff that isn't, maybe.
See, I don't know if you can say something isn't derivative or it's deriving from
wasn't.
something you just don't know about. Which seems original to you, and then you find out, like, oh, there's this experimental film from the 40s that this is basically a direct copy of, and you go, oh, weird, I didn't know that. Huh.
I mean, what's that saying again? Like, great artists steal or something?
That is...
it's something like
good artists borrow, great artists steal, something?
Yeah, it's something like that, yeah.
There's a turn of phrase around it because it happens so much, and I don't know. And there was this kind of discussion that, hey, it's Waypoint again. They had a conversation about fan art, and I keep listening to it because I feel like at least it's, like, annoying me, which is something, as opposed to just bland content, Right. Like... The Bombcast can play for 3 hours and nothing about it will bother me because it's just really conventional stuff. Like, I know what to expect from them. Whereas this is like...
This is an interesting thing you're bringing up, actually. I like this. Yeah, okay. I get where you're coming from, for sure.
Well, like, it's sort of popping my bubble a little bit of, like, this isn't normally in my echo chamber and I'm trying to deal with what you're saying. And sometimes it really just doesn't jive with me, and sometimes it's a thing I do totally agree with, so there is common ground, and I gotta figure it out, like with Waypoint specifically.
Right.
So the thing this week, there was one about fan art, and just like everything's kind of fan art. It doesn't make sense to hate on fan art. like, don't get upset about it. And specifically it was Austin relaying how he used to, and now he doesn't anymore. And I've definitely gone through, like, different phases of just, like, this is not original at all. Like, you just stole the characters and you're making them do this. This is terrible. Like, this shouldn't even exist. And then kind of having to, like, look it through stuff and just being like, oh, well, all that's different with this is they changed the characters' names, but this is essentially a giant allusion to this other thing or whatever. Or, like, Indiana Jones just, like, serials from the 40s. Star Wars is just samurai films. Like, it's all from somewhere. But I don't know. It's just, like, at least a little bit of extra effort was done to, like, conceal it or change it or, re-express something, as opposed to just literally parroting the same thing. I don't know. I still get weirded out about pure fan art. I don't read fan art. I don't look at fan art or read fan fictions specifically. So I'm a snob about it, I guess. But
fan art, like, are we talking about, like, go to DeviantArt.com and somebody's like, this is my picture of, like, Shepard from Mass Effect?
Sure.
Like, just straight up fan, like, actual image fan
like,
art?
this is a copyrighted character from another creative work. I have made a comic or a little story or a painting or something that is from it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And
I thought it was more specifically, like, people making a movie based on, like, another character.
That happens too, and or games. Like, I don't know why that happens with games, because it's like, hey, that's cool that you made this, like, remake of Metroid 2. Why didn't you just make it a different character and, like, it's a space game? Like, why does it need to literally be the copyrighted thing?
I truly believe if they hadn't used the fucking word Metroid in the title, it would have been okay.
Like, if they just call it, like, Bug Killers or something, and it's like, hey, this is basically Metroid 2. Like, was somewhere around that game.
I guess, I really, really think that Nintendo, because they use the word Metroid, which is one of their properties that they have trademarked, they had to fight it. Like, legally. Yeah. They had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even the character or the copyright stuff. It was literally the trademark, the word Metroid. They legally have to fight.
Yeah. So,
which is why that Super Mario Box Boy or Box Maker or whatever.
Yeah.
That's totally fine because they don't use the fucking word Mario in it.
Yep. I mean, it has some flagrantly similar stuff, but
I mean, it is Mario Maker.
Yep.
Straight up with a weird, shitty character and what look like really bad controls.
Yeah. So it's not, but it's clearly derivative in the same way. But I guess
pisses me off about it is that, like, if they hadn't used that fucking word, it's probably fine.
Just going through all the effort and pains of making a thing, and then you've kind of already started on this bad footing, though. Like, it's kind of, I don't know.
Even just take the word Metroid out. A2R is the new name. Why? Because it's the planet you're on. I don't know.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
But I guess maybe it got notoriety and people talking about it because of it, but it still just seems
I still think it would have been fine, honestly.
To go down that path and do that.
Yeah.
But
you're right.
I don't know. The derivative works, copyright law, all that kind of stuff, creativity. I don't know. I guess I get maybe it's part of it might just be like a certain jealousy of like people not being self-conscious about doing that kind of stuff, whereas I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't even know if I can allude to this. Because
maybe if they're self-conscious, but they don't care, is the difference, because they're making money.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know, maybe that, like, overwrite... Like, if you make, like, a weird parody thing and put it on YouTube and it got, like, 10 million hits and you're making, like, $50,000, maybe it's easy to overlook the fact that, like, you feel like a sham.
Because it's a flagrant. I don't know. Rip-off? Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Give me $50,000, I'll tell you.
It's like, I'll see if it feels any different.
Right,
so let me see how it feels. Huh. Yeah, it turns out having the money in my pocket makes me care less. Interesting.
Also, I need to buy a belt now.
Yeah.
It's too much money in my pocket. I don't know why I asked for it in $1 bills. It was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Anyways.
crab week. That's what's been a little bit. But okay.
Was it crab week? Or I thought this was just like a day.
It does warp my perspective a bit. I don't know if this whole week has been crabby. I guess with the weather thing and the buses and whatnot, we can
the weather's been real bad. Yeah.
Roll it into crab week. But yeah, that's kind of all I experienced this week that I can think of right now. So
yeah, all right.
Was there any? Hey, have you been watching Fast Games done rapidly or whatever? Like, how's that going? How's this year's program?
I mean, not really. Before we were doing this, I was catching up on the Mega Man X race. I wanted to see who won that before. Like, I read something in the internet was just like, yeah, he won it. Because I kind of wanted that, like, it could have been this guy or this guy before Twitter specifically ruins it because people tweet everything right away.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been using Twitter like the least I've ever used Twitter since I've gotten it. It's been like freeing, not knowing what people think about everything that's happening. It's been so nice.
Okay. You just get to make up your own decisions. It's kind of crazy.
It's like I still have it where if people at me or message me, they can like message me as if it was like a text message or something because that is something they are directing towards me personally, and that's fine. I do every now and then when I'm bored just kind of do a quick scroll through and see if anybody's talking about anything interesting. If they are, then I'll like read more into it, what's going on, but it's pretty rare because I realize I kind of don't give a shit about other people in general.
Or is focusing that stuff in the Discord where it's like a group of people that you know more kind of sharing their thoughts and stuff?
I mean, a lot of times in the Discord, I just kind of read what people are saying and then chime in with like something dumb here or there every now and then, or just like ask people about what they're talking about. Like, for example, today one of the moderators of it was on a radio show or something, and I wanted to know more about it, so like I piped in and asked like, when do you go on next and what's the station and that sort of thing. Yeah, but if I'm bored, I'll go in there and just like chat a little bit, throw a Pewdiepie video in there, and people are like, what the hell's going on?
Yep. But it's a little different vibe than Twitter is kind of just the public internet, so everything you say could reach anybody in the network.
It's like a small message board. It's like a small forum.
Right. So unless somebody's like, wow, that's really crazy what you just said, I'm going to screen cap it and make fun of you on Reddit or something, like, it's not going to happen. Like, you feel like it's a little more private. It's like a quiet...
Right. But the way I use Reddit, I probably wouldn't see it. Because I would just, unless it's posted in r/Resident Evil, I'm probably not going to see it.
Okay. That's sort of one of my fears with Reddit is like threads about like what's the most embarrassing thing a coworker ever did or something, and they're just like, oh shit, I hope no one's like, it's like, oh no, that's about me or something, like somehow against all odds it'll be in there, but it's never happened. It's just kind of one of those things that I get weird.
I mean, could probably like rest easy knowing that like I don't work with you, first of all, and I barely use Reddit properly. So
right.
So
you're not gonna be poking fun at me behind my back on Reddit. So
like probably not. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I would rather just do it openly for people to listen to on a podcast.
Oh, okay.
I feel like there's maybe a little more honor in that, if nothing else.
Save some face. It's more direct.
But yeah, but then you don't get the karma.
You don't get the karma. Sorry, I guess I was asking about awesome games done quick.
Yeah, AGDQ.
A big kind of annual event. Is it annual or more than once a year?
No, it's annual, for sure. No, there's... Okay. AGDQ is once a year, technically, but then they have SGDQ, Summer Games Done Quick.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, it's the same premise, layout, everything. It's just a different name. So, technically, AGDQ is once a year, but no, they do this shit twice a year.
Okay. Yeah, I think I caught some of Summer Games Done Quick then. I was visiting a friend, and he was watching a bunch of stuff. Saw some Tetris play, and DuckTales 2, I think.
Okay,
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But I saw on the Discord you were kind of saying it's a little more TV now.
Yeah.
Like it's not as free as it used to be or something. Like they have stricter rules.
They have sponsors. They have like time slots that they get people in. They have like an audition process. They have all that shit. AGDQ started off with like 10 fucking speedrunners being like, I can do this game fast. Well, I can do this game fast. Let's meet up in this dude's basement and do games fast together and raise some money, I guess.
Okay.
Like, and now it's like, yeah, he ran like 10 minutes over his time. He's never working in this town again. Like, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. Yeah.
Wait, do you honestly get like blacklisted for next time, or do they just cut you short? Sure. Oh, weird.
No,
okay.
Yeah, no, you can get blacklisted, which is why there's certain streamers that just aren't on AGDQ and SGDQ anymore.
That's
because they swore on basically I was going to say TV. They're not supposed to swear.
It's not TV, it's the internet. You're not supposed to swear when you're playing a video game stressfully? Right. What?
Right?
Okay.
You're not supposed to swear because it's an all-ages show. Like, they're treating it like television. You have your allotted time.
4 in the morning? I guess it's, the worldwide, so some little kid in Bulgaria just tuned in. He's eating his Rice Krispies, and then this dude fell in Mega Man and said, fuck, and it just destroyed his brain.
Right. Okay. And then the mother had to kill the child because...
Yeah, it's like, oh, my kid's tainted. I can't have
had to kill the child and try again.
That's how it works. It's crazy.
Yeah. Just like Mega Man. You get a bunch of different lives.
Yeah, okay. So, have you seen kind of the games you wanted to see already then, this show, this go-around, or...
There haven't really been games I've wanted to see. There's a few runs I do like. The Mega Man X the race I do like. Mainly because Mega Man X is one of those games that's so perfectly rooted for speedrunning, and like there's a bunch of people in that community so that they are like literally within seconds of each other. So it's pretty tight the whole time. It's just one of those things where like one of them makes a mistake and they probably lost because the others will play perfectly. That's really fun to watch. It's kind of like the same reason you would watch an Olympic like race or something. Because these are like supposed to be the best at this thing, racing each other. That's fun. The Mega Man runs in general are usually kind of fun. I watched the Mighty Number 9 run. That was okay. I felt a little bad about that one though because the speedrunner who was doing it is kind of new, so he was a bit awkward on the mic, and that doesn't go over well to like 130,000 people in chat. The ones that I watched on the first day were Resident Evil 0, even though it was a Wesker run, which I'm not a huge fan of. And I'm kind of not a fan of that game in general. But
yeah, it's definitely not one of the standout.
No, yeah. And after that was Silent Hill 4, The Room. And I watched that one because An Eternal Enigma, the runner for it, is just like a super chill dude. So I was kind of excited to see him run that game live. And yeah, he killed it. It was good. That game is weird. So it was fun to see that game again, and kind of infuriating to see it played so quickly when I remember having so much trouble with certain parts. But I guess that kind of goes with the territory of watching a speedrun, so...
Yeah, it's kind of humbling in a way. Just like, oh man, I spent so many hours on that part. That's crazy. Just
it took me 40 hours to beat that thing you did in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Definitely. Asshole. Yeah, I don't know. Just, again, self-conscious about playing single-player games. It's internet, just internet awareness, information age.
Sure.
Too much information, Metal Gear Solid 2. There was a run of that, wasn't there? Or not this time?
No, you're right. There was. I missed it. I should actually go back in the VOD and check that out.
Okay.
That's an interesting run. I've seen that run done a few times by different people.
Is there some weird like exploits, or is there just some cool demanding sections or execution?
Yeah, I mean there's a few demanding sections, specifically like if it's a European extreme mode when you're fighting all 32 rays at the end. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
there's a lot of weird little like Easter eggs in that game because it's a Kojima game. So like if the runner's good, they'll usually show off that little stuff. But I don't know if they would at AGDQ because they have like time slots, so they can't go over. They can't like go out of their way to show this cool little thing that you might not have seen before. I don't know. I kind of have just a problem with AGDQ and SGDQ in general. I kind of have an open cynicism about charities in general.
Yeah, there's definitely... I can sort of relate to some of that. I've been a bit incredulous as to, like, the nature of some of these events, but... Sure. Or kid-based charities, specifically.
I mean, I know that.
Yeah, because I just don't like human children much at all. So it's just kind of, I don't want to save them. What are you talking about? Like, why'd you build this hospital? You know, these are questions I have. But right. Sorry, I'm being cynical on purpose now. To downplay my very real disdain for our nation's children. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
Let me put a
my Facebook wall's got all babies on it, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Let me put a counterpoint to you here. Mommies. We're gonna wrap this back around on itself.
Okay, good.
You have a child, right? You are the first avenue to show them Windwaker. You are the first avenue to show them any game you want.
Yeah.
You can like get them started on the right path or the wrong path. I don't know. There you go. You wanted a reason to play a video game that like to like share with people in a way that they've never seen before. You just gotta have a kid. That's all you have to do.
Oh, you're saying that's the only way this makes sense?
It's the answer. Because then you're playing Wind Waker and this kid is watching this game for the first time and playing with you. You are opening their eyes to the future. You know everything about that game until they go on the internet. Then you're an idiot. But
so you're saying I should literally have a kid, or like I should consider YouTube a place for children? And
no.
Hey, I'm going to introduce you guys.
Literally have a kid.
No, there's so many of them.
You should literally have a kid to play Wind Waker, specifically.
Billions of kids. Okay.
There's probably less than billions.
You're probably right, but I mean, an adult's
probably
just
not,
a big kid.
Probably not much less, to be honest, but like probably less than billions. Maybe take the S off. Maybe a billion.
There's a billion kids out there.
In Calgary. In Calgary alone.
It's weird, yeah. They don't show up on the census. People don't know that.
Yeah, it's actually not snowing here. It's just baby dander everywhere.
What? Okay. Children.
It's gross. Yeah.
Okay, like, so is it just the charities, or like that charity equals attention, or is it the specific ones they're choosing are kind of sketchy or not to your liking? Oh no, sorry, I know the main thing that, I don't know if you want to use this as a platform too, but mental health issues aren't really brought up as much as, this kid has cancer. So,
I mean, okay, there is a little bit of resentment in that because, like, maybe if I had a kid with cancer, it would be a little more even. But like, I, you know what? I'm gonna say that it probably wouldn't be. I've known a lot of people with cancer. I've known a lot of people that have died from cancer. I've seen it deteriorate, like, people in my family's minds to the point where they were a vegetable until they waited, like, took their last breath.
Yeah.
And I still think it's less important than mental health stuff. Because that shit is actually terrifying. Like, a sickness is whatever. The worst it can do is kill you. The mind turning on you is, like, fucking terrifying. It's the worst thing. You can't get away from it.
And it's kind of more prevalent than you'd think, and kind of underreported,
for sure.
And people not being comfortable to go to therapy and stuff.
For sure.
It's a pretty widespread thing, yeah. I mean, when I was reading that, I was just like, I think I was reading that literally after having just been in therapy. So it was kind of just like, mental health's pretty good. But, like, tending to it is a good thing. But,
So sure, maybe there's a little resentment towards like, well, like we've done cancer, guys. Can we like wrap this up and do something else? Like they're gonna cure cancer eventually because everybody knows about it and they're working on it. Let's work on making sure that people with like bipolar disorder don't go into a manic rage and kill themselves. Let's see if we can help people with that problem, maybe.
Yeah. And it's not like tied to a specific age or like if you ate this or whatever. It's
Right. Yeah, exactly. So there's a little bit of that. I just have kind of a distrust of people, and I'm pretty sure that people in charities, in every charity, there's probably 5 to 10% of people who really believe in the cause and are like gung-ho to make it happen. And then probably about 90 to 95% are in it for money and for the good feels and to like look like a better person than they are.
Mm-hmm.
But this it's sort of a the cynical nature thing.
In some ways of just like,
because they know you can't say anything about it.
Oh, it's a nonprofit or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, you guys are literally saints. But
right.
I don't know.
But this is the thing, is that they know you can't say anything about it because even if they are the biggest dick, even if they are in it for the wrong reasons, it's still, at the end of the day, a good cause. And I kind of hate that.
Or it's really easy to frame someone criticizing you as a dick, but just being like, wait, so you don't care about bedridden sick children? And it's like, well, when you phrase it like that sounds real bad, but...
It's like, when you phrase it like that, no.
No, I don't. I really sincerely don't. It's like, well, this person's crazy. Like, you've lost a lot of sympathy or support from
I feel like I should
parents out there.
Counter what you just said and say I do care about that sort of stuff, but not nearly as much as I care about a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I do think that stuff's important, not necessarily to me, because I'm not in that part of my life, but I think even if I was, I'm pretty sure there's more important things out there. Maybe.
Probably. Probably more important things out there. Like alien life on other planets.
If people disagree, they should just write into podcast@burningbarrel.co.
Yeah,
let us know what you think is important. Like, do you have a kid?
Are children important? Yeah. Do you have a kid? Do you care about the kid?
Yeah.
Like, did you want to have a kid?
Also,
like, just getting sensitive.
Also, I know Meowth will be listening, and yes, Meowth, we all know how you feel about children. It's fine. You don't have to write in. We know.
Okay.
Yeah. She's not a fan.
Okay, good. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
She's probably less of a fan than you are.
Okay. So. I don't know it's been coming up a lot lately, but I've not been in a super positive place about kids.
Right. But, wait, why has it been coming up lately?
Maybe like family pressure or just Reddit has that zone for
it. Reddit? Yeah.
But it's been coming up a little more on the minds.
I got a kitten. Weeks. That's like a kid.
Oh, there you go. That's like a cat kid. It's a kid cat.
It is actually literally a kid cat.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So there you go.
Unless it's not a blanket
I have
policy,
a new kid.
You know, it's not umbrella. It's not all types of kids. I think a goat, like a young goat, is a kid. I think you call it that. Pretty sure. That's the official way to refer to it.
Isn't that a Billy? No, that's a Billy goat. Or Billy the kid.
Or Billy the kid.
Wait, so if you name a goat Billy... God damn it.
There you go.
I know there's Billy Bookcase.
What?
From IKEA. And the reason I know that is because I need one for my office. But there's Billy Talent, which is a band.
There's Billy Joel, which is one of the best concerts you've ever seen.
No, he wasn't one of the best concerts. He was probably the best musician. Okay. Just seeing like the Talent live was like really good, but like the actual show was kind of just like them playing, which it was good.
Right. Okay.
But like the best like experience was still Nine Inch Nails by far. Muse was really good too. Yeah.
I found it really amusing that there is a designated music like board on the Discord, and there's none of this happened on there. And it was just like, oh, weird. Okay, like all that's in there is like YouTube videos or something. But
it's music
chat.
They're YouTube videos of music, right?
Yeah. But
no, you're totally right. That's where
I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to like curb the conversation or ruin it. But it was just like this is funny to me because I was just figuring out. Oh, there's multiple boards. I said this one thing in the wrong board entirely, and nobody saw it. Like stuff like that. But yeah.
Wait, what board?
I was for top down actually. I said something about Hap Inc.'s games. I guess that's the thing. I played a bunch of Hap Incorporated's games. Like they're the Hidden My Game by Mom people.
Oh my god, yeah, okay.
There's some good like other stuff too. Like I like Free Kick a lot. Toast Girl was pretty funny. Yeah, Chaser's okay. They just have a lot of like weird little simple mechanic things with a bunch of jokes in it. They're good at kind of simple comedy. So check it out for free with ads. There's ads, so don't be scared if there's ads.
There are ads. Oh my god, and when you get the Game of War one or whatever that you can't skip for 3 seconds, the worst.
Oh, yeah. Like the little playable demo kind of ones? Where
it
counts
I think
down
so.
in the corner? Yeah.
It might be different for you because you're on iOS, so...
Oh, okay. I don't watch videos in order to get more currency or skip ahead or whatever. I haven't found the need to do that, but... Anyway.
No, but they play ads for those games, like specifically Hidden My Game by Mom. There's an ad every couple like stages or whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, I forget where we're at. Kids, Billy Joel, music, concerts, something. See you guys next time.
Yep.
Thanks for the response.
Yeah, there you go. Just like that. Bye.
Oh, okay. Bye.